Bama gang. Because we always hit the nail on the head. So check this out, my Miami Hurricane fans. The playoffs, the rankings came out last night. Obviously, Miami's ranked number 13. I want to talk about Notre Dame. They're ranked at number 9. Now, it's a tough subject, and everybody's talking about it in college football. And I want to say I got some good news, Miami fans. I want to say I got some good news. But before we get into all of this, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already. If you're a Miami Hurricane fan, you got Miami Hurricane fan friends, share the channel with them. Maybe they'll enjoy it just as much as you do. Or, you know, maybe they'll get a little bit of information. They'll get a little bit of laugh. You know how we do it over here. But I did get a DM, and I did get it from a reliable source, which I can't put out, by the way. I can't tell you guys who this is. Now, obviously, these people, or this person, is in the committee. Now, from what I'm hearing and from what he's told me, and I clearly can't say who, but it was great news. It surprised me, like, who's watching the channel and who knows little old me. But anyways, man, Miami chances of getting in over Notre Dame, it's still in the air. So here's what I've been told. So clearly right now it's not up for debate. If it were if it was time to put the playoff teams in right now, Notre Dame would get in over Miami. But thank God that's not the case. So Miami got 2 more games. Notre Dame got 2 more games. I personally expect Notre Dame to win their next 2 games. Why do I expect it? Notre Dame is going to play the same 2 teams that we just saw Miami blow out. Syracuse and Stanford. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is expecting Syracuse or Stanford to beat Notre Dame. Syracuse is up next. Fran Brown don't really have a quarterback. You just seen what Miami did to Fran Brown. That's tough. Now, let me say this. Fran Brown did a thing or two last year against Miami. Down 21, came back and won the game. Told Dabo that, hey, Dabo, there you go. Got you in. I did it for you. There you go. Well, Mario and Fran Brown, I don't think they got the best of relationships. Hell, we seen them, arguing on the sideline to each other, this, that, and the third. If they was in each other's face, they probably would have punched each other. That's tough. But could Fran Brown actually beat Notre Dame and help Miami and say, Mario, I did it for you? I don't expect that, guys. I don't expect that. But, that would be kind of funny. But I do expect Notre Dame to finish the season 10-2, with all that being said. Miami, on the other hand, can also finish 10-2. They could beat Virginia Tech this week, and they could beat Pitt in rivalry week. Miami versus Pitt is a rivalry. Well, technically, rivalry week, then, most of the state teams play each other. Florida play Florida State. Clemson plays South Carolina. Virginia play Virginia Tech, that kind of thing. North Carolina will play North Carolina State. Those games are, I think, by law, if I'm not mistaken. So, with all that being said, though, my dude told me that if Miami could get within three spots in the rankings with Notre Dame, then the conversation will come up. Head-to-head, common matches, they will have to have a conversation about it. Now, that does not guarantee Miami in, but it does do us a favor if the committee gets together and say, hey, Miami and Notre Dame, this is the final week. They're both 10-2. We got to fill this thing up at large, by the way. Unless Miami, by miracle, get into the ACC championship and win it, then they will be guaranteed a spot. But it's not likely, and we're not going to go that route. We're going to go the at-large. So clearly, Notre Dame is our biggest foe. Now, in order for us to get within 3 spots of Notre Dame, which we're 4 spots right now. We're 13, they're 9. So in order for us to get in within 3 spots, we would have to jump over either BYU, Utah, and who else is in front of us? I think at the moment, number 10 is Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. I think Alabama's at number, I don't think Alabama's going to lose any of these next 2 games. I think they got Mercer, the SEC motto, schedule a cupcake in week 11 so you don't slip up towards the end. And then they'll play, the Iron Bowl against Auburn, which, by the way, Auburn is terrible this season. I don't expect them to beat Alabama, but it's college football, anything can happen. I'm not banking on that. Now, BYU and Utah, Kansas, and Kansas State. Those are their last 2 opponents. And then you have, BYU, who's more likely to take an L than any other ones. They'll play Cincinnati, and then after that, I think they play UCF, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, they play UCF the last game of the season. So we would literally have to bank on them, losing to Cincinnati, or play a sloppy game against Cincinnati, where Miami, if they handle business, and I mean dominantly, beat both Virginia Tech and Pitt, then, Miami's chances of moving up and getting within that talking point with Notre Dame and, Miami winning the head-to-head and everything like that, then we have a great conversation and a great chance of getting in at large. Now, like I said, I'm not banking on us getting into the ACC championship. It's too much need to happen. But if that were to happen, then we wouldn't even have to talk about Notre Dame or any at-large or anything like that anymore. But it's good to know that we're not totally out of this thing now. BYU, let's just say they go out there and blow out Cincinnati. Let's just say they blow out UCF, which them blowing out UCF wouldn't be a surprise. But let's just say they blow out Cincinnati, which, by the way, I think they're a 2.5-point favorite against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's at home, so it's a great chance that, this could be a tight game. Now, Miami go out there, handle business, blow out their team. I think it's a great chance for us to jump BYU. Vanderbilt, of course, we jumped them in the rankings. We're now number 13, they're 14. They play 2 teams that they could possibly lose to. So I'm really not even thinking about Vanderbilt at this moment. One of our biggest issues, though, is USC and Oregon. Oregon, if lose to USC, could cause some problems. If they beat USC, then, everything's great and, we'll keep it moving. But if they were to lose to USC, then we have a whole nother conversation to have, because USC is sitting at number 15. And with a win against a top 10 team, they will jump us. They will jump us. Let's not beat around the bush. They will become an issue. But right now, I know a lot of you guys are looking at the college football projection by ESPN, and you're saying, oh, look, Miami's at number 11. All we got to do is win out and we're getting in. Guys, that's been revealed last night, that Miami's only there in that spot because right now Duke has been eliminated. Miami is in the spot, is just a placeholder right now for whoever the ACC champion is. So if it's Virginia, that number 11 spot belongs to Virginia. If it's Georgia Tech, that number 11 spot belongs to Georgia Tech. And if SMU wins out and, things happen for them and they make it to the ACC championship and win, that 11 spot is for SMU. Clearly, there's scenarios where Miami can make it to the ACC championship and win it, and then that 11 spot will be guaranteed to Miami. If Miami win the ACC championship, by the way, in my opinion, they will not be the number 11 team. They will be even higher than that. That's in my opinion. Some of the teams that are ranked ahead of them will not play a conference championship, and it'll give Miami a little boost ahead of them. Not saying that they're going to be in the top 5, or I think they could possibly anywhere from one of the home team hosting or playing one of those teams that are hosting, depending on how, you know, the rest of the season ends out. So Miami still has a chance, guys, and we just got to handle business. We just got to handle business. That's plain and simple. Anyways, appreciate you guys for watching, tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. Love y'all.